And welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Luke Allport doing an Allport, going off the front early doors, stretching everybody's legs out. Allport is indeed a verb, and in fact there he is, the man for whom the phrase was named. We've had Vinkinator doing a Vink, we've got Allport doing an Allport. Two riders clear at the front, Mason Rocker and JJ Miller, the two riders from the United States of America. Well, they've got a 10-second lead. This is optimistic. They've gone on the downhill at 6.2k. He's just got to answer the attacks, which are going thick and fast here in Category 1. Tim Cutler on the move here. Welcome back, Tim. He's back into the action and he's up and away. And he's trying to attack with a long way to go. Walter's burying himself to try and stay with them. Dante's moving his way up and through, but he can't hold the pace of Khan Kayan, who leads them up. Khan Kayan's going to go underneath the banner first. It'll be about what positions they were in coming into this climb as SS goes through. Now, Khan Kayan has claimed the skin suit. Will he be able to hold on to it? I think he will. Osborne and Vink on the road. Van Els, Kaminsky, Vujasic, Jones, Safrazadi and Co are the chasing group. That gap is not huge, 11 seconds.
X100 and Nico, the two riders now out front. It's just continually changing. Morel now coming to the front of the group behind with Don and SS. 5 seconds, Betty's in that group as well. It's come back together and gone out again, come back together and gone out.
You don't need a motorbike, you don't need somebody with a motorbike licence and a flat bit road and no cars about to be able to do it here. You just get behind Michael Vink on Sunday Race Club and it's like sitting behind a motorbike going at full speed. It's absolutely brilliant to see. It's qualifier race number 2. It's going to be a win today in Category 6. The first rider over the line underneath the UCI banner in Japan on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, Mikael Pastula, your race winner.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مشاهدينا الكرام متابعينا في كل مكان، أهلا وسهلا بكم. السباق سريع بالمناسبة. الفئة الثالثة تلاحق الفئة الأولى. عملية هجوم في المقدمة، محاولة أمريكية. نعم، هنا من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية يتواجد متسابقين 2 في الفئة الرابعة. محاولة جيدة للمتسابقين ميلر وميسن روكا. هذا الروشن راج من الهند. أحترم هذا الدراج كثيرا. نعم، أحترم هذا الدراج لأنه فعلا مشاركة أولى ويظهر بشكل جيد. برافو يا تيرون. هذا تيرون يظهر الآن يضغط وباين عليه أنه في فئة شباب. جيفروني هذا المقاتل دائما. هذا الدراج المقاتل جيفروني من أفضل الدراجين المقاتلين على الإطلاق في هذا العمر. نعم، رائع جدا جيفروني. ماذا يحدث في هذه الكوكبة؟ هنا تشتعل المنافسة مبكرا. شاهد معد عودة تيم كاتلر. تيم كاتلر يعود، الأسترالي تيم، صديقي تيم. هذا واحد من الأصدقاء حقيقة تيم كاتلر. ما شاء الله، شوف الفيو، شوف الفيو، شوف الفيو ما أجمله. شوف الفيو، شوف العمل، شوف الأساتذة اللي يشتغلون اليوم من تطبيق مايووش كيف يظهرون لك العمل من الأعلى بهذا الفيو الرائع بهذا المستوى الجميل. الله الله، كل الفئات تطلع الآن على الصورة، كل الفئات تظهر، المحاولات اللي موجودة. هذا مارشال وو، هذا الصيني، لا يستهان بهذا الدراج الصيني. مارشال أول واحد باللون الأصفر. لا تقول لي مارشال ومارشال وو. شوف يطلع الصيني الآن. الله، هذا الوحش الصيني، التنين الصيني يظهر التنين الصيني في الصعود. شوف الواط اللي يضغط فوق ال 447. يا الله يا الله، ما أقواك يا مارشال. من وين جيت؟ كفو والله، كفو والله. برافو مستر إكساندرد، برافو يا مستر إكساندرد. ينعش السباق دائما بهذا الأداء الجميل. نعم، بالتحمل، بالروح القتالية. بداية العمل، بداية الصعود. يلا، وهناك جيسون أوسبورن أيضا يتحرك جيسون أوسبورن يتفوق على زميله مايكل فينك. يلا يا اس، برافو اس يطلع الآن. محاولة هجوم من اس الآن، ولكن حذاري لا تحركهم يا اس.
ويرفع السرعة، يرفع الواط الآن ويحتفل بعد 50 متر تقريبا بالفوز اليوم لأول مرة. والقميص الأصفر لميشيل البولندي، المركز الأول للفئة السادسة بالسباق التأهيلي الثاني من شهر مارس. الاحتفال الآن والقميص الأصفر.
So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's qualifier race number 3 for March. 4 race qualifiers and 1 final to come in March. My name is Matt Payne. I'm bringing you the English language commentary. I'll be joined, hopefully, by Emma Martins, who should be hot-footing it across from the other studios, where she's covering the women's race at the moment, because we have an overlap at the moment between the men's and women's races. And don't forget, if you want to catch up with any of the previous race results, make sure you go on to mywhoosh.com/results. On to this week. Let's take a look at the course first of all, one of my favourite courses, because this is a deceptively tough course. We have along our route today, our 47.8k route, number of climbs, which total 566 metres of ascent. We have 3 sprints along the way. The Newtown sprint coming in at 5.3 kilometres, the Face Rock sprint at 31.7, and the Siamese Rock sprint at 44.2. 3 climbing segments, the rolling Alpha Car Hills, which are a real sawtooth profile. They kick off the first of our climbing segments. Then we have the Vessel Rock climb. And that takes us onto the plateau, onto the mountain range, where we also find that Face Rock sprint. The second half of that climbing section is incredibly tough. Do not be fooled. It is really, really hard. It may not have a red segment for climb points, but it is difficult. Drop back down again, a couple of attacking points as we go through past that Siamese Rock sprint and onto our final climb up to the finish. That final climb, 2.7 kilometers long, and that climb will really test the riders. Points available in the sprints for the green skin suits, the green arches, the green sprint competition. The polka dot banners, the polka dot skin suit are the climbing points and segments, and they are awarded separately. And of course, we have 6 race categories today out on race route. They are going to be very, very much aware of where every single one of those starts are, where every one of those finishes for each of the segments, fastest time through each of the segment, to take away the prizes in the sprints and the climbs. It's all about being first over the line if you want to take away the win in the overall. Now, of our 6 race categories, Category 6, the first to start. They're in the purple jerseys on the right-hand side of your screen. The second group of riders to start, the second of our waves away, are the Category 5 riders, the first step up from Category 6. Our last riders to go will be Category 1, right at the other end of the scale. They're going to be in the yellow jerseys. As you can see, the riders in those purple jerseys already at 3.9, now 4 kilometers into our race route, so only just under 1.5 kilometers to go to the first of the segments that they can be taking away prizes from, and that is from the Newtown sprint segment. The riders in Category 5, well, they've only just left those start pens. The riders up and away. Now, Category 6, 31 riders taking to our race starts. The BMC 16 level beginning team, Los Amigos, the Spinergy Rule 6 and ZTBR teams in the mix. Watch out for Osmar Vaz taking a 4th place last week. Watch out also for John Back, who took a 2nd. Rego, who took a 3rd place as well. Do not discount riders like Maris Fossiet, who we know is always going to be up for the sprints. Watch out for riders like Ramos, Nielsen, Vilada Sebza, Truba Dadson, Jocobonus in that mix. In Category 6, watch out also for Arrego, Demanu and Kill. All those riders could be up in there as well. There are your Category 6 contenders. We'll go through Category 5 when we go back to our Category 5 riders. They're just on the left-hand side of your screen. Category 4, 3, 2, and 1, just waiting in those pens. Category 5, well, they have been up and running. We're just taking a look in Category 6. Invited Michael Kleps fights to get onto the back wheel. First of these little bumps on the way through, already done. And at 5K, we're just about to roll in towards the sprint. So here with Category 6, Kleps fighting to get back onto the wheels as we hit the tarmac. The new user interface, the new 4.0 launch, the latest upgrade in the game that we've seen so many upgrades over time, really taking effect as that clock continues to tick down on our Category 4 riders. Category 6 riders going through the sprint. And don't forget, of course, this new user interface with the riders map on the top right-hand side now, with those arches, the riders going through the sprint here in the purple in category 6, and you can see top left-hand side of your screen that the fastest time set by Marius Fossier ahead of Kleps. Kleps chasing his way from the back of the group to the front. Fossier with the sprint. Watch out, though. He's been pushed closer there. It's less than a 1/10 of a second separating first and second place in Category 6 in the very first sprint of the day. Okay, Category 5 we'll dive in a moment. Let's go across to Category 4. They are our riders who are down in that start pen and due to start. We're actually in with Juan Amaya at the moment. Now, watch out. Big teams here. BMC Racing have 4 riders. BMC 5 have 1 dirt first, have 1 in a fight, have 1 level racing. 5 riders as well on the Rivet have 3, including Arayev, who took 3rd last week. Peak Power Racing are here with 3 riders and the Salt Racing team, the Salt Factories race team from the UAE with 2. Our winner last week, Nicholas Van Haren, also in the mix and down on our start list, along with Giuliano, who took a 4th, and Zach Patterson, who took a 2nd place. But this is a real star-studded field of 55 Category 4 riders taking to qualifier race number 3 here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's time to head out and go racing as we make our way away from the race start. The riders released from that pen, and you can see this big pack of 55 riders already starting to put the hammer down. Krewanos already pushing strongly up here with Iran. We're in with a mayor at the moment as he fights to keep in with this group. It's not going to win you the race coming out of here like a rocket, but it does mean you won't lose the race by being distanced from those start pens. Really, really critical. Now, top right-hand side of your screen, you can see we not only have the map, but we also have the course profile, and we have this little riser that comes in. You can see the gradient increasing. We're at 2.6 now, 4% as we go over this little rise. It does put a little bit of compression on the group coming into it, but as with all roller coaster sections, you go over the other side, the speed will pick up and the pace will pick up. We're just in with Zach Patterson, the rider who took 2nd place last year. As we switch over to Luke Allport, Luke Allport on the front, he doesn't want to get caught out at all. And a number of the riders will be still getting used to the new dynamics and the way that the riders are riding and racing on here. The aerodynamics, the way the draft works, the dynamic of the pack, positioning will be different to when they were racing previously. If you want all of the details, make sure you subscribe to the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. On there, you can find the latest Inside the Ride pod with Cy Brayley and Matt Smith. And Matt talking about all of the differences, lots of upgrades, lots of changes to the platform. It's not just things like aerodynamics, it's not just pack dynamics, it's in that user interface that you can see on your screen at the moment. The central top data is still rider data, but with some tweaks, so the key information is of dead center and even bigger, so you can see the watts still go green when you get into the draft. They're black as standard, but they go to green when you're drafting, so you're saving energy at that point. The heart rate is up there and the pedal cadence, so the revs per minute, they're in bold. The amount of time you've been racing is on there. You can see the speed and the distance covered is also top and center, which is really handy. So you can see all that information very quickly. The rider we're following at the moment, that's John Back, and you can see in with John at the moment. He's highlighted in blue on the center of your screen and on the right-hand side of your screen as he moves up to the very front of the race. And you can see all the riders behind him on the right-hand side as well. He's currently number 1 of the riders out on the race route. 204 riders on race route, including those in the start pens at the moment. Total entries, total starters today, 284 riders. So Category 6 are well underway. We've run through those riders. Category 5, we will get to very shortly indeed, I'm sure. They're out on course. But Category 4 at the moment are absolutely nailing it just on this little bit of a rise. All these little rises, they're really, really deceptive. They don't look like anything on the course map, the course profile, because of the scale of the hills in the middle and at the end, but they're enough and they're great trigger points for when you want to put the pressure on. They're enough of a difficulty that will put some riders really under pressure, could force them off the back of the group. And you see at the moment, Van Haren, Morgan, Allport, all on the front here, all nailing this, all really pushing on. Morgan and Allport, both part of that Level Racing team. Van Haren here really pushing on strongly as well. Another rider to watch out for. I would watch out for Hagland today. He's definitely a rider who we may see a little bit later on. Van der Zandt, this could suit him as well. And of course, we saw Rocker in Category 4 really accelerating up and going clear as well. And having that breakaway with Mason last week. So Mason Rocker there, real strong rider. Will he be able to go clear? Will he be able to get a break in? We will have to wait and see. Just taking a little bit of a look down that Category 4 start list with those riders on the left-hand side. Good to see Sam Tuomi in there and Daniel Valencia, Matteo Pino in that mix, as is Johannes. A real strong mix of riders in those groups in Category 4. Remember, 6 race categories, categories 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is our Category 6 riders. The furthest riders down the course approach the 9.3k marker. They'll hit the hills, the big official hills, and that is the Alpha Car Hills, the first of our climb segments. They're going to be at 12.8 kilometers. The Category 5 riders are sandwiched between Category 6 and Category 4. Category 4 at the moment, they are at 3.5 kilometers into their race route. Category 3 due to go very shortly. If they've not already hit that race start, and of course Category 2 and 1 to follow. In the moment though, the action in Category 6, very, very strong, riding up on the front of Category 6. As you can just see, the group push over the top, just shedding a rider off the back of that group on the radar view on the right hand side of your screen. Left hand side of your screen looks like Luke Allport is doing what Luke Allport does best. He's on the attack. He's looking to rattle them up. He's looking to shake this out. He's seen that there are riders in front. As we drop in with our Category 3 riders, they're up from race start. So Category 3, we're in with Henry East here, regular on the the Category 3 starters, 58 riders on the start list for Category 3. Team riders here, we've got the Anzacs squad with 4 riders. That's Cardona, Rodriguez, Bloom, and Velez. The Otterora Alliance, Henry East, the rider we're in with at the moment, along with Jakub Wojciech and Ryan Durma. Don't forget Level Golden, well, they're in here. Who else will be in here? Andrew Rushford and Runa Vega-Bakken for the Level Golden squad. The Ride Club Finland, they're represented by Jano Peak and Juna Tuki. We're going to also see a Sandstorm squad in action. So Felrath, Guerra, Gates, and Fenderick, will they be in the mix today? Take That, represented by Daniel Tidholm. And What's Up? Well, watch out for Claes, Sjur, Kowalski, and Kodzari. Kodzari, the rider who took 5th place out last time in and around. Other riders to watch out for Maciej Skierski, Rego, Batty in there. Kochikov never can be discounted, neither can Galuska. Bitko and Moreno, also 2 of the real strong riders in Category 3. Definitely watch out for Die Dutch on this course. And Kisnowski, I think it could be his course today, a course that really does suit him. Riders who like the racing tough, they're going to be suited today to today's course. Now, Category 6 at the moment, 11.1k in. The riders who are away first from a race start at the moment, looks like Osmar Vass tucked in as we go on to the green roadway in between the red walls here. We're going to be taking this right-hand turn as they start to thread the way in towards that first climb segment, and the Alpha Hills comes at 12.8k. They're the furthest out on our race route. The riders who have just left the pen now, nearly 3 minutes into racing. That's David Goodall. We're watching in Category 3 in the dark blue jerseys. They're just approaching this bridge. You can see the gradient currently just about 2%. And the riders starting to dig a little bit deeper into those zones. The riders out of the saddle as they start to attack. And it looks like a strong push off from the front here as well. Looking to break it up. We've got a number of riders already distanced behind the front of the main group. There's at least 3 riders who are not in the main pack. The main pack is still big, but is it going to be big enough? Category 3 go over the top here. Pierre fell on the attack. Sladik, Kisnowski answering it as they keep on pushing it. Tweaker going to be a definite challenger here today, because Unitwika at the Race Club Finland opens up the gap. Pierre fell from France jumps on to his wheel. Can Fell keep him in check here as the rest of the pack start to scramble? You're starting to see a response coming, and it looks like it's going to be Oviedo who's pushing on here at 6 watts per kilo to try and bring them back. He's got Kisnowski for company, but the 2 leaders at the moment, Tweaker and Fell, they've got that gap 3 seconds it is at the moment. They've already started to really make things difficult for the rest of the riders out on race route at the moment. Well, this is Kisnowski at the moment. Damien Kisnowski, one of our regularly strong riders on courses like this, with the short, sharp hills, with changing gradients like we see on the Vessel Rock climb, with extra climbs thrown in that are not part of the main race route. He could be a rider to watch out for today. Let's dive in with our Category 6 riders. So in with Category 6, those first riders on the race route, and they are really well and truly now hitting the Alpha Hills as they come over the top of this roller. Going to make their way in and through. The banner is going to be just in front of them that indicates the start. You can see it just in the distance here. The red of MyWhoosh over the top. You've got the polka dots down the side. It's a climbing segment, but this is not one climb. This is multiple climbs. You have got 7 key roller coaster sections in here, 7 teeth to this sawtooth profile that will test the riders. Each time the riders hit the climb, the group will compress. Each time they go over the far side, the group will stretch back out again. This is going to be really critical. The riders on to the climb. Who's got their climbing legs attached today? We know that Fossier has got his sprint legs on. He's the rider in that green skin suit. He's at the back of this group. He cannot afford to let the gaps go. This is going to be key. Stay in the bunch. Do not expend too much energy. It's a long way from the finish of this segment, which is at 16.5k. This is a 3.7k segment here. It's a long segment, lots of climbs, 7 of those climbs, very similar to the one that we've just done. A couple of them are just that little bit bigger to do. But then when we get to the end of this segment, we've got a long flat run. There's the odd pimple of a hill in between there and the start of the Vessel Rock climb, which comes at 24.3k. So a good 8k separating out the climb section. That's climb number 1 section. That's the Alpha Hills where we are at the moment with Category 6 and the second of those climbing sections. So the push on the front here. Milano nicely tucked in the chase group, but a big kick going off the front. And Driscoll's trying to respond. So Jacobonis back was starting to push on here. So we just see Dadson stretching it out, though. So are they going to be able to answer this? I think they are. The roller coaster, you've got to be able to push up and push down. Absolutely key to keep the pressure, keep that chain tight on the way down the hills as well as up the hills. Really critical. So Category 6 well into the climb segment. Category 5 rocketing the way into the start of the Alpha Hills. Category 4 we have got down and away. Category 3 and 2 and 1, all following on. Our next riders to go, though, are going to be Category 2. They're the riders in the green jerseys at the moment. We're just in with Maciej Mendakowicz. 52 riders in Category 2. This is a massive race field again. All part of that 284 rider race field. Maciej Mendakowicz, one of those real strong riders who we know can take this out, but he's going to be up against it. We have got with us Vidal Mer, the winner in Category 2 last week. We have got SS, who was 3rd and took the climbs competition last week. Ika Morel, one of the MyWhoosh coaches, he was 2nd last week. Karen Kayan, 4th last week. We've got Martin Wozniak also, who's moved up into Category 2. in the mix. Olivier Simmons, who took the sprint last week, he's here. And Zach Nair as well. He was 5th last week. Do not discount the Abu Dhabi racing team, the CD racing team, the Smarties Hitman. The UAE clan team, though, will be the team to be with Mr. X100, Pablo Popovic and SS, I'm sure, on the rampage as we make our way through. Category 2 on the left of your screens, waiting to go. There are next set of riders to go. Category 6, right-hand side of your screen. At the moment, we're in with David Milano going up over the top of this section. You can see the pressure is on. He's out of the saddle here. 5 watts per kilo, kicking down hard as he goes. He doesn't want to get caught the wrong side of a gap here. There's riders being distanced again. So each and every time this roller coaster goes up and over, these riders have to accelerate. They have to keep in that draft. Now, watts will be green when the riders are in that draft. That is retained from previous versions of MyWhoosh as this game continually evolves. So that countdown on into the last 30 seconds or so now as we get ready to start Category 2 on qualifier race number 3. 4 qualifying races, 1 final in March, each and every week of the year, each and every Sunday. The Sunday Race Club bringing you categorized, verified, checked, power passported riders racing in all 6 categories. Not only our elite riders, but the entire race field subject to that stringent verification and that power passport to make sure you know you're out racing amongst competitors who are going to be racing equally as hard as you with all those checks in place. Category 2. Up we go. We're in with Daniel Pinto at the moment as this group sets off from that start line. They've got 47.8 kilometers, 566 meters of ascent in front of them. This will test out the best of the best today because this is not easy. It's not one climb where you can settle into a rhythm. You're going to have to be responsive. You're going to have to be on the ball all the way from start to finish here today. And that's going to be telling with this very quick rise that comes in. Here we go. Graded increases. Already we've got riders off the back of the group. You can see top right-hand side of your screen, one of those green discs that represent the rider on the radar on that map view just being distanced and dropping off the back. The main pack in the center of that map view. As I go over the top here, most of that group staying together. Anybody in distance, though, will be in trouble. The draft, well, the draft is strong with this one. It certainly is on this update. It makes for some great riding. It's a different feel. And it does take a little bit of getting used to for some riders. I thought it felt very, very natural when I jumped on and rode, had a real play with the draft dynamics, getting some kilometers in. And obviously not enough kilometers to make up for the ice cream and coffee consumption, but plenty of kilometers out there. James Krasnich, though, he's been out riding very, very strongly recently, and I'm sure has been out making sure he's got this absolutely dialed for today. He'll want to be in the prize money. Krasnich, one of our very strong riders in amongst the MyWhoosh race field. So just running across to Category 2 at the moment. It's in with SS. Climb winner last week. No surprises there. 3rd place last week. A real regular and stalwart of MyWhoosh. That is for certain. He's also a rider who we know is going to figure very strongly when the racing gets tough. He's certainly a rider that we know is going to be in that mix today, I think. A rider who I think, I'm trying to think, it must be in the hundreds, 130 race participations on mywhooshinfo.com. I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure it's nearer the 200 mark because the records only go back so far. SS, one of our regular riders, a real workhorse for that UAE clan team. The rider who we know is always aggressive. Had a dip, then went down into the lower categories, fought his way back up into Category 2, back with Mr. X100 and Pablo Popovic once again. But they've got some tough competition. Peter Milostic from Australia opening up the throttles here as they go up on to this climb. Over the top, he's going to go. Betty very quickly into response here. He's the rider chasing down 6.9 watts per kilo coming out of Betty. Just seeing SS answering that actually at 7.2. Angus Bankston also in the mix, and you can see as the riders at the front of that group start to accelerate up to get onto the wheels, riders at the back are being distanced and stretched off the back of the Nico and Cantazaro really quickly on to the front of that group. When there's an attack goes, who's responding? Who's kicking down hard? Who's putting the energy in? Who really fancies their chances today? Who's really up for it? Who is chasing? Who can you rely on to chase down a gap? Whose wheel do you want to be maybe near or on? Really key skills when you're in that group. Skills that Category 2 have honed. They would love to have the same skills and speed as Category 1, who are waiting down in the pen, the riders in those yellow jerseys as Category 1, with, of course, the world champion, Jason Osborne, the man who took that title in Abu Dhabi last year at those live in-person finals. Well, will he be able to take away a win today? Second last time to the one and only Mike Vink, the rider who's down on our start. She's just taking a little bit of a look. I'm just looking. I think I can see him tucked down there with his usual markers, distinguishing marks that we would see on him. We've got ABC Sports here with Leonard Chugles. We've got Alpha Jaw, Daniel Churek, David Talbot, Lionel Justin, Mikhail Kaminsky. The Farm Watts squad are here. Bjorn Andresen, Hayden Pucker, Jörn Noren, and Mikkel Plantero. The Boss Moves Only squad. Last week's winner, Michael Vink, Jason Osborne, Michael Knudsen, and Said Safrazadi, who was fourth last week down on our start sheets. We've also got Ali Yakas, Marshall Wu, Bruce Bird, Havard Gednes. We've got Jasper Paradines, our sprint winner last week. Joel Lewis, Christoph Kroll, Linda Milostic, Mohamed Mudd. We've got Marcin Trajanowski. We've got Nikki Huger, Niall Petterson. We've got Paul Skierski, Rakad Al-Thib, Ricardo Panizza, Ruben Don, a rider who's moved back into Category 1 after being down in Category 2. Got Stefan Van Elst on absolute form last week, fifth last week, as well as Thomas Stroll and Mirza Al-Amadi in the mix. They're the riders on our start sheet, so we're just going to take a quick check on the riders out and racing. Watch out for the team action. Let's see how fast these riders go. Busy period in cycling esports. There are hundreds and hundreds of races on MyWhoosh in March. There are so many each and every week. It takes some scrolling through to find the results now. Gone are the days when it was a quick job to find everybody's results. One of the great tools, and I've got to say a massive thank you to the legend behind MyWhooshinfo.com. MyWhooshinfo.com is the place to go to see segments, to see schedules, to see routes, workouts. You want to work out to do something specific, jump on there. If you want to know who's life coaching, jump on board. It's a great tool in addition to the mywhoosh.com website. Brilliant work by one man who does such a fantastic job in putting that all together. I've got to say a massive thank you. I know there are other people helping him behind the scenes, but really, you need a great leader to do that. Fantastic. So if you want to see the Resolution Race Series, where Caroline Reuter took the win from Catherine Tonkinson and Maria Helmarsson, whether you want to see the individual time trial in there, who was leading in that, was winning in the Sunday Race Club last week, who's been on form, look at the riders, see what they've done. Jump on board mywhooshinfo.com. Whilst you're online, make sure that you give MyWhoosh a follow. It's MyWhoosh on Instagram and on Facebook. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to MyWhoosh on YouTube. Be notified when Inside the Ride goes live. And remember, of course, that the Inside the Ride is the MyWhoosh podcast. All the details of the latest release is on there. So make sure you get on there, get notified. You can follow it if you want to watch, if you want to see Matt and Si's handsome faces when they're telling you about the, if you want to see the smile on Matt Smithson's face when he's telling you about all the things he's rightly proud of in the new update, then watch it on the video on YouTube. If, like me, you like to get your pods, digest your pods through your ears rather than through your eyes, then don't forget you can pick it up wherever you pick up your podcast. Some really interesting chats on there. And of course, all the details on the latest update on the 4.0, including the virtual shifting. I have managed to get into the racing with all the starts away without talking about it. It's taken some doing, believe me, because it's been top of my things to tell you about this week. As Category 2 make the way in and through, let's give you a quick update. Virtual shifting. Now, virtual shifting means you can have a single speed bike. So I could take a single speed bike, my old Bob Jackson fixed frame, put a freewheel on it, a single speed freewheel on it, or a single speed sprocket on my smart trainer. And that could sit on there. A perfect bike, super sprint bike. One gear, and do you know what? You can shift gears, even though you've only got one gear on the back, because you have that on the user interface. It sits down on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. There are 30 gears available, because it's based in game. And it is based in game. If you're on Windows, you can hit a key to go up a gear or down a gear. You can use your mouse to click up a gear or down a gear, or you can be super smart and use a Bluetooth shifter and set your tech up to do that. And got to say a big thank you to Jeff Thorin for giving me a whole load of tips on how to do mine. He's got a great YouTube video about how he put his together. Now, I wonder how many of these riders are using the virtual shifting. It's not button-based. It's not proprietary. You don't have to buy any kit to make it work. It comes with the game for free. Virtual shifting, yes, for free. Don't need to buy any kit, no hardware. You can just use it if you've got a computer and a mouse. It's really that simple. It's based in game. You can use it on the Link app as well. So make sure you dive on there and do that. It's certainly the case. It allows you just that extra little bit of fine-tuning, of finessing whilst you're on the bike. I'm really looking forward to exploring that more and maybe using that in a couple of races. You never, ever know. Not sure I have any chance of keeping up with Category 6. Never mind Category 1, who at the moment, these little bumps and rises is seeing the pressure being put on. You can see the world champion Jason Osborne at the front of this group with David Tolbert, Stefan Van Elst, Panizza's in there, Pedersen, Knudsen, Gednes, Gierski still in the mix, Thrall's in here, Trojanowski is in here. A real who's who of cycling esports. So as these riders make their way, it looks like Osborne rips it up on the front again. It is a real active race here today in Category 1. I don't think Jason Osborne wants to let them sit down for more than 2 seconds. The moment we see a rise, Osborne is attacking out of the saddle, putting the pressure on, very quickly being answered here. Interestingly, it's Mika Kaminski who was going with him instantly there, but the rest of this bunch are responding as they come back up into the mix here. Panizza, Wu, Turek, Plantero all in here. These are the early salvos. We have got one rider at least distanced off the back. As we head around, we're going to be heading into our first key segment. This is the first sprint. This is the Newtown sprint. Remember that this kicks off at 5.3 kilometers. This is going to be the first time where we get a real good indication of how Category 1 are going, because they're coming around towards the green banner. The green banner indicates the start of those sprint sections. Here we go, Newtown sprint coming up. Time for those riders to make the way through. There is prize money for each of our sprint segments and for each of our climb segments. You can see those two riders sprinting down the road. They want to get those big prize money, the sprint prize money in their back pocket. Big kick from Paradians and Don. Ruben Don, welcome to Sunday Race Club back in Cat 1. Challenging but not taking the green skin suit. That's gone to Jasper Paradians. Paradians with that phenomenal sprint we know he has coming through. 16.9 watts per kilo from Jasper Paradians to take away top spot in the sprint. And fantastically fast a ride by him as he went through. Simmons, Dido, Skierski, Clay, Skretting, Fourier, Rocco and Cirillo also coming in through. Skretting, good time by him. Interesting to see just outside that 12-second marker. Inside 12 seconds, Paradians, Simmons and Die Dutch all coming through with that time. But this is a danger moment. The riders come sprinting through. They've given it big beans to go through and take that segment. But now comes the bunch, and the riders have to react. You don't get long to rest here, particularly with this little bit of a rise coming immediately after the sprint. Category 1, last riders out of the pen, the top of the tree on the right hand side, kicking on, moving on through the straight here. Over the top, taking this slight right chicane that comes. They're now heading out and across towards the Alpha Hills. You can see Category 2 on the left. They're a little bit nearer at 9.9 kilometers in with Jonas Bjarhed in Category 2. Still a big group of Category 2 riders as well. So that's a big group of Category 2 going in and through. Category 1 going in through the sprint. At the moment, certainly looking very, very strong indeed. I'm just working my way down. Vink is definitely here. Not very notable by his presence up at the front of the race at the moment. Maybe just keeping that powder dry at the moment. Vink is definitely in with us. Last week's winner. So is Stroll, Knudsen in here. Noren Kaminsky, Kroll, Andreasen, former world champion in his Skiski, Vajasin as well. Tugels, Milostic, all in the mix. All here in that Category 1 race at the moment. So confirmed in and with us. We'll see who is going to be able to take it out. We're just diving in with Marshall Wu at the moment as the riders come round this right-hand turn here. Taking along at the moment, pretty comfy pace, 3.3 watts per kilo for these Category 1 riders. Don't forget, all of our riders, whether they're Category 1, Category 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all have to do a power passport. And this is really simple. It's certainly a simple concept. Every rider has a power passport that gives you their basic data, their signature, and that is how everybody is up and identified. It's how we know what power they produce and how that power is produced. So Henry East, we know he's got a great sprint on him. Well, we can put numbers and data to that. So we know if Henry's going well. We know if he's got a problem with his tech. We know if he's got some great form as well. But we know whether he's great sprinting, climbing, whether he's a good all-rounder. That power passport is identical across all 6 categories. All 6 categories have that power passport. All 6 categories are tested. All 6 categories have to do weigh-ins. All 6 categories are subject to the same verifications and checks, including all those AI checks as well as human Mark 1 human checks as well to make sure the riders are on there. And that's the right rider producing fair and correct racing. All of the riders subject to those same verifications. Trainers are slightly different. Categories 1 and 2, they are using, they have a slightly more restricted list of trainers. It's opened up for categories 3, 4, 5, and 6 to give more accessible racing. So don't worry if you haven't got the latest trainer. Go on to MyWhoosh.com, have a look on the trainer, and jump on board. You do need to have a smart trainer, though, that adjusts the resistance if you want to ride on Sunday Race Club. If you just want to come and have a go, well, I could take my dad's old Freddie Grubb bike from 1950, put some speed sensors on it, and jump on the rollers. I was talking with Emma in the pre-production chat we had prior to the women's show, and she had a rider on rollers on the session, on the training session. So do make sure you jump on board and have a ride. You don't need the latest, most expensive kit. And remember, MyWhoosh is free. You can jump on board MyWhoosh. It is for free. It's really straightforward. Just make sure that you download the app, get the latest one up to date. Come and have a ride. We want to see you out there and riding. Now, Category 6, right-hand side of the screen, been a little while since we've been in with our leaders in Category 6. Kittel, Vaz, Fossier, Dotto, Sensing back and Co at the moment at the front of this race. They're currently at what is 26.8k. They're on the way up. They're about halfway up the Vessel Rock climb. And moment they're just about to come up over the crest of this section. It's a long drag here. They dip down and then it kicks again. 6% the gradient at the moment for the riders in category 6. They go over the top here. These are your leading riders as they go up and through. We're just taking a quick check behind, and it's certainly looking to me like those riders are absolutely motoring. Just going to take a little bit of a check back on which of the riders on the Alpha Hills in category 6 were flying. Fossiad, he's the rider with the polka dot skin suit. He's added that to his win in the green skin suit, so you won't see the polka dot on screen because he's got the green one as well. Fossiad leading in the points competition. It's 5-4, 3, 2, and 1 points in the points competition on the Alpha Hills. Fossiad took 5 points, Faz took 4, Dotto took 3. Then I think we're going to have Christian immediately behind. That's Christian Hofbeck. He got 2 points in 4th place, and Simon Llewellyn taking the 1 point. The points for this section, where category 6 are now, the Vessel Rock Climb will be added to them. The fastest rider up this segment will get a prize, but the points are added together and they'll be added together to our final climb section into the finish. And that will then give us the final winner of that polka dot, the mountain climbers competition. And that, of course, is the same is true in category 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So our leaders on the road of category 6, they're on the right of your screen. The last riders to leave the pen. Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen. Pretty much all of the groups still with sizable groups on the road. Just trying to take a quick check through all of our groups as they came through the various segments in all of our categories at the moment. Category 5, they went through the Alpha Hills. Dylan Kennett showing his climbing prowess, no matter what Michael Vink might say, taking top spot in that climb competition on the first of the climb segments in category 5. So that's Kennett taking 5 points, Sikora taking 4, Warren taking 3, Lasner taking 2, and Dadson taking 1 point on the Alpha Hills. In category 4, the riders in the red jerseys, it was Van Haren taking the fastest time on the first of our climbing segments. So Van Haren from Cadiz, and then Quadrelli, Rocker and Patterson scoring 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points respectively. In category 3, we have had our riders through there. So that is Becker taking 5 points, then East taking 4, Goodall taking 3, then Gossari taking 2, and Moreno taking 1. And in category 2, they're still on the way through those Alpha Hills. They're ahead of the riders who are just about to enter. There are category 1 leaders. This is the leading group at the moment. As you can see, those riders diving in. We no longer get the big red and yellow chevrons across the screen. You might see the rider's name move to one side with the flag. As that name and flag moves to the side, you'll see little red and yellow chevrons in there. They're the indicators that the riders are just digging into those upper zones 4, 5, and 6, going from the yellow into the red chevrons. At the moment, though, looks like category 1 reasonably all together. Category 2, those groups, that's a big group going through the Alpha Hills. They're at 15.7k. So still with about what is going to be 800 meters to go to the finish of that sprint segment in the hill segment, in category 2. So right-hand side of your screen, category 2. A humongous size group on its way in towards the end of this segment. We drop down. We've then got the road curving away. The roads will get a good view of the segment finish that comes up. It's a sweeping left, then a slightly tighter right. And at the moment, the riders in category 2 coming towards the end of that segment as the category 1 leaders. They go underneath the banner. The start of the Alpha Hills, the first of our climb segments, is upon the riders. Who is up for the racing today? 7 key kickers between here and the end of this segment. A great chance as well to break this group apart. Meanwhile, we're back in with Category 2, and it looks like Cal Power, who's gone off the front of the group here. He hasn't got a huge gap, but he's gone through. Now, can he hold the fastest time? Power goes through, grabs hold of the polka dot skin suit. 3 riders came through with him. That's Nico, Bjorklund, and Graves. Mayor's right in the mix. So is Fawcett, but it looks like it's Cal Power who has scored maximum points. Nobody else touching him. So Power, 5 points on the first of our climb segments. Mayor taking 4, Nico taking 3, Fawcett taking 2, and Bjorklund taking 1 point. They are the point scorers on the Category 2 first climb segment here today, but the bunch is huge. We've already had through 40 riders through the climb segment on Category 2, and they're basically on the right-hand side of your screen at the moment. Left-hand side of your screen, well, they're the leaders in Category 1. We've yet to see how this break will go to. This group, how small it will go. At the moment, it's a fair-sized group. Last count, it was sitting around about 29 riders in Category 1 in that group. We're on to the Alphagar Hills. They're the last of our categories to go through the climb section here. And at the moment, they're on the left-hand side of your screen. So at the moment, Category 1 on the left, Category 2 on your right, as it looks like Emma has completed the women's race. She's just going to be joining me in the studio here very shortly indeed. We'll let her get all of her copious notes, notebooks. It's a bit like unpacking a library into the studio when Emma turns up from one race to another as she makes her way in. Just joined, in fact, by Indy the Trail Dog, who's also decided he's coming into the studio for some strange reason. I'm not sure how much concise commentary Indy, my trail dog, will do. Indy, are you going to say hello?
No.
We're just getting a tail wag. So that looks like Emma is in with us. Emma, good to have you here. I see you brought my dog in.
Yeah, there wasn't much I could do about it.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, well, he's sat here deciding he's going to try and join the commentary team. We will maybe see if he settles down. So let's have a little bit of a summary of what's happened so far. All the riders out from the gun in all 6 of our categories. It's been frantic from the race start. Category 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big groups going away. Lots of riders pushing on over the sections. But let's show you where we are with our Category 1 riders. And right the way through to Category 6. Category 6 at the moment are our furthest riders out on course. Now, Category 6 riders at the moment, now, they haven't yet gone through the Face Rock Sprint. They're between the Vessel Rock Climb and the Face Rock Sprint. Behind, you can see Category 1 at the moment, just going into the Alphacar Hills. They are on the, that's the left-hand red section. So Category 1 entering the Alphacar Hills. Category 6 further down. In front of our riders, the Vessel Rock Climb, for those who haven't already gone up it, that's a multi-profiled climb. Then through the Face Rock Sprint, then we have the second part of that plateau and that mountain range. It's not a categorized climb. However, it's incredibly steep. Now, when this has been raced by the women previously, it's shown just how decisive that can be, because off the end of that climb, we've got a big descent down into the Siamese Rock Sprint, which is after those rollers, and then the big climb to finish as well. 3 climb segments, 3 sprint segments, and the prizes overall. Emma, it's a real tough course, and this is a course I think that suits a really aggressive rider.
Yeah, I agree as well. And that final climb really, well, it's a bit of a war of attrition until the riders get there. Now, interestingly, you know, I came into the studio and you said there were 40 riders going through that segment from Category 2 in the leading group. That category is so competitive at the moment. Last week, the top 12 riders were separated by 3 seconds at the finish line.
And it does show just how close the racing is across all these categories. And interesting that Category 1, just going through the Alphacar Hills section there, have dominated the top of the standings as they go in through at the moment. And it's certainly looking like the Category 1 riders are still a good-sized group there.
19.
So we've lost about 10 riders from the lead group.
We haven't
during that
lost
segment.
them.
Well, we
They're
might
not-
have. I've lost them.
Oh, okay. Well, they're
I
not
can't
with the
see 'em.
leading group anymore, but Michael Knudsen setting the fastest time through the Alpha Hills. 4 minutes 36 seconds. Jasper Paradines is there, Bjorn Andreasen, Noel Pedersen, Leonard Tugels, Ricardo Panizza, Johan Noren, David Talbot, Christoph Kroll, Arnie Jacobs, Mikhail Kaminski, Syed Safrazadi, Mikhail Plantro, Stefan Van Elst, Marshall Wu, Jason Osborne, Lionel Yassin, Michael Vink, and Thomas Thrall are the 19 riders in the leading group in Category 1.
So 19 riders clear at the front of Category 1. Category 2 riders behind. It is a much, much bigger group on the way through. They're on the right-hand side of your screen, making their way in and along. But I think we've got potential escapees. Meanwhile, left-hand side of your screen, Jason Osborne stretches his legs once again. There's no gradient increase here. I think he's just decided time just to open the throttles. Just make sure everybody's still awake and with us here at the moment. Now, whilst these riders are constantly ding-batting amongst themselves there, different phrase for Sunday today. Emma, I left you at a really critical moment in the women's race. All the groups were away. And it was looking like it was going to be a fantastic race. Is that what happened? Did it come to a real crescendo?
Did it come to a real crescendo?
Yeah.
Well, I can say that
Without giving spoilers.
No, well, all I can say is you need to watch it because all I can tell you, every single finale to each of the races was superb and really, really close.
Oh, excellent. I can't wait to watch that back.
Big groups going into the final climb together. Good sized groups still being there 400 metres to the finish line.
And for those people who maybe didn't watch the start of the women's race, you can go back and watch it from the start and watch it from from kilometre zero, as the saying goes, and jump on board there. Please do have a watch. Make sure you subscribe to MyWhoosh on YouTube to get notified whenever the videos go live. Lots of great tips and lots of great hints on there. Lots of great videos. Don't forget, of course, on there, if you go to mywhoosh.com, you can make sure that you're notified whenever the coaching's on. You can download the app, join Emma for some live coaching, join a certain Peter Sagan every Tuesday.
Yes, through March.
Through March. So I think that's another 1 or 2 Tuesdays left in March. Can't do the maths. My brain's starting to hurt now. We've been on air for at least half an hour. So our riders up and away. Category 6. Our leading riders first out of the pens here. Marius Fossid. He has got both the green and the polka dot skin.
So the question for me is, do you think he can do the treble?
Oh, that's a mean question.
Why is that a mean question?
Because the answer, I think, is no.
Oh, but he had third place in qualifier 1 this month in Arabia on the 7 Gems course.
Yep.
He took the sprint competition that week as well.
Shall I tell you why?
Why?
Because this race category is so hard that it would be incredible to be able to put a performance down that took the sprints and the polka dots and the overall win.
Well,
that is a phenomenal performance. I'm not saying that he's not capable of it. I just think with so much competition, it's really, really difficult.
Well, he's doing the right thing at the moment. He's taking the draft from the riders in front and conserving energy.
He is indeed left-hand side. I don't think there's much conserving energy going on. As the moment, the riders are very, very active indeed. Always somebody making a move on the front here. And another attack going off the front here, which is going to provoke an instant response.
Well, you know, there's a thing about keeping the pace high on the flatland transitions here, because there are some long flatland transitions between the sections here in Alula, and it's might be a rolling course, and we might have the Alpha Hills. We may then be transitioning to the Vessel Rock, but the terrain in between. It's an 8-kilometre run of pure flat terrain, and you want to keep the pace high, and that's what this Category 1 pack are doing. Michael Vink now pushing on at the front. Jason Osborne straight back on. Line of Yasin is there as well as Stefan Van Elst. Ricardo Panizza in the mix as well. One rider attacks, then another goes over the top, and the pace is so high. It's not the place that you would expect the attacks to happen, and you would expect the pace to be high. You're expecting the attacks to happen during the Vessel Rock climb, which is coming up, which is a multi-staged climb. 3 sections of climbing on the main Vessel Rock climb segment. Then they transition over the top onto the descent through the face rock sprint, then 2 more climbs before the main descent. Looking at the profile, never make an assumption when you look at the profile of a course, because you'd look at the profile of the course and you'd go, oh, Vessel Rock climbing section, that's where the attacks are going to happen. But no, the flatland transition between the Alpha Hills and the Vessel Rock climb is where Osborne et al., Vink et al. Are playing with the power.
And I hate to say this, but if your eyesight is not the greatest, you may miss the fact that between Alpha Hills and the Vessel Rock climb, there are some lumpy, bumpy bits. There are a couple of little lumps and bumps that will test out the riders and really make them really, really struggle. I think that's going to be the case for Category 1. You can see at the moment that Knudsen has come across, so it's Van Elst, Bjorn Andreasen to Vink and Osborne as they come in. But as you look at that course profile on the top right-hand side of the Category 1 screen there, you can see they're heading in to the hilly section. Top right-hand side of the Category 6 screen, which is the screen that you've got on your screens at the moment. You can see that our riders at the moment coming up to the top of the summit, and there's a few tired legs. Marius, I'm not surprised you're tired. You've already taken 2 jerseys, so no moaning loud. You don't get the joy of telling us you're tired.
He's having a hard but rewarding session.
So let's just another attack going. I can't get the words out in Category 6.
Said Safrazadi now going off the front of the Category 1 patch. You know, week after week after week, Said Safrazadi is in the mix, and you can see him in the results in the top 10 every week. It's been a little while since he's been on the top step, but never discount this man. He is a really, really strong rider and a really strong racer, both on MyWhoosh and out on the road and the mountain bike we've seen him racing. So Safrazadi putting in the next push, keeping the pace high. Michael Vink, Jason Osborne closing it down. Stefan Van Elst there as well as Mikel Plantero. They are at the 23.6 kilometre marker now. There's 1K to go till they hit the Vessel Rock climb.
Do I remember correctly that when we were talking during the week about some of the prep, during some of the prep for this, you said Stefan Van Elst had been on one of your coaching sessions?
Yes, Thursday. It was great. He was very chatty on the message board as well.
Excellent. Don't forget, you can find out when Emma and all of the amazing coaches are on the live and on video on demand as well, of course, but on that live coaching session. And that is shown on the game, so you can go down and click on there, see when the coaching. It's Monday,
12 o'clock lunchtime GMT.
Is your next session?
It's my next session.
Indeed. There's lots of great riders, lots of real great coaches on there. Do make sure you jump on board, Emma, on what is Monday lunchtime across most of Europe. Obviously, wherever you are, that might be slightly different, but good to see the Sunday Race Club riders on there. Now, Michael Vink on the move, a man who was not long ago actually on the Inside the Ride podcast at the moment. He's inside the front of the race, because you can just see Vink and Osborne on the front here. This is a little bit of a drag now as we start to make our way in on to this Vessel Rock climb proper. The gradient starts to increase. It is a real bumpy profile with downhills getting the pace right here is going to be key. If you blow here, you're going to be in real trouble.
Well, you are indeed, but the push is on, and this pack are staying strong together. It's really close at racing at the moment, and it's not for the want of trying. Riders going away here. Michael Vink pushing on again, 7 watts per kilo. Out front here as the climb. Well, you say the climb is not really engaged much at the moment because there are multiple steps here and flat sections, and Osborne comes over the top of Vink. These two hoping to be able to ride away from the group, but Tugel's closing it down with Kaminsky and Andreasen. Knudsen in the polka dot skin suit has been riding really strongly this month. Great to see him really having a resurgence and coming back up into the top 5 regularly. And pushing on strongly at the moment, Marshall Wu in the mix, Leonard Tugel's side, Safra Zaidi, David Tolbert is there as well. Category 1 race starting. Well, is it really starting? I think it started a while ago.
It started a while ago. I think it started whilst you were still in the other studio, I have to say, in terms of being really, really moving. So let's take a little bit of a look across Category 5 and 6. Category 5 on the left of your screen in the light blue. Category 6 on the right-hand side of your screen in purple. So Category 6 at the moment, the leading group there, as you can see, that has come down in size, down to about 10, 11 riders. Fossier there, in the green skin suit. He was the winner of the Vessel Rock climb ahead of Hofbeer, then Kittel Sensing and Manuan in Category 6. Category 5 at the top of the Vessel Rock climb. It was Sikora who took top spot from Gavira, Gibson, Drummond and Kalangad. In Category 4 at the top of the Vessel Rock climb, Cadiz took maximum points from Patterson, then Giuliano, Van Haren and Miller. In Category 3, the Vessel Rock climb went to Becker, once again up there in second place. I think we're going to see that was Jose Montero of Oviedo, then Henry East, then followed by Gozzari, then Sladek coming through behind. Category 2 riders, well, they have, I think, yet to reach the top of the climb. The leaders just making the way up there. Category 1, they're just really starting to get into the meat of the climb.
Well, they are indeed, and they are still all together in this huge group of strength and depth at the 26.6 kilometre marker, nearly 35 minutes of racing, and they are absolutely battling it here today. Yassin, Osborne, Noren van Elst, Kaminsky, Wu, Panizza, Plantero, all still in this leading group. And you can see the profile on the top right-hand corner of your screen. The pack are on the yellow vertical line. It still rises, the gradient, but then it plateaus and descends before it kicks again. And the riders know this. They've raced this route now a couple of times here in Alula, and they really have got this course dialed.
Michael Vink at the moment, really impressive here, stamping on the pedals once again. He takes Tugels with him now, and Tugels not one of those teammates. Quick reminder that Michael Vink on the Boss Moves Only squad with Jason Osborne, Michael Knudsen, and Saeed Safrazadi. They are the 4 riders that make up the Boss Moves Only squad. Bit of a super group of esports riders there as they go up over the top. Tugels on the wheel riding for Abus Esports. He's holding the wheel here of Vink at the moment behind. Well, the riders have been dissed in those gaps. That we're starting to see gaps open here.
We are.
This could be telling. Tugels is in the right place. I'm sure he won't go to the front to aid Vink. He will want to reserve as much power as he can. I'm going to just very quickly jump across to the Category 2 riders going over the top of the Vessel Rock climb as we speak. Cal Power has just taken maximum points from Vidal Mayer, then David Nitko, Zach Nair, and Ross Fawcett. You can see there at the front of what is a huge group of riders. I think that's still round about 35 to 36
I can tell you.
riders, I think. In Category 2.
It is 37 riders. So the last time we were with Category 2, there were 40. Now there are 37.
And 1 or 2 riders sort of just distanced off the back. You can just see those dots at the back trying to chase on as well. So that is going to make life very, very difficult if you're not in the lead of this group. Nico Van Heek, Grace Mayer up in the mix. Vidal Mayer riding very, very strongly indeed. Power looking good. Nico Nair force it in there. Van Heep, Banks, it really is a who's who going over the front of that climb together. SS Gray's in there as
Well, I'll
well.
tell you, they're really trying to break the group at the moment, aren't they? And interesting to see. Graves has just gone to the front of that front group and come off of the power. Now the call goes from 2 of the riders in the lead. Come on, we need to work together. If we work together, we can stay clear. If we don't work together, they will pull us back in, because that is one strong bunch behind.
It is. It's a big, strong bunch. Now, looking at our multiple categories on your screens at the moment. Category 1 with the last riders to leave the pens. They're at 28.6k. At the moment, the leaders on the road are the Category 6 riders in purple. They're at just shy of 42 kilometres. Quick reminder for you, this race route is 47.8k long, so still plenty of distance to be raced by all of our race categories. Category 1, though, they're approaching the top of the Vessel Rock climb, and this is where we really get a good indication of where these riders are at. Chugles and Vink going through, and
they are indeed.
Chugles, look at that, he snaffled it.
He did indeed snaffle the polka dot skin suit off of Michael Vink, pushed on there. I'll tell you something also, Knudsen, Panitza, Kaminsky, Vujasin, Van Elst, Wu, Noren, the group are not far behind, you know. They really are not far behind. It's 9 seconds separating Vink and Tugles from the rest of the group in Category 1.
And I make it another 10 riders chasing. 12 riders gone over the top so far, according to my screens, in Category 1. So 2 leaders, 10 riders in that chase group. Chugles and Vink, you can see heading up at the scoreboard there. 6 minutes 45. It shows you how fast they were moving, averaging 6.4 watts per kilo there. Leonard Chugles going over the top and taking away that segment prize in Category 1. Then it was Vink. Then we saw Knudsen, Panitza, Kaminsky, Vujasin, Van Elst, Safrazadi, Wu, Noren, Osborne, and Plantero. They are the top 12 riders, but it was 2 with a chasing group of 10. It's not anymore.
Oh, it's not actually. No, but it is still 2 out front, because Vink and Tugles are 16 seconds clear right now.
But is that 10 riders behind? That's what I was not very clear about that.
This group have caught a number of Category 4 riders, which is why the group looks bigger than it was last time.
Okay, it's just my eyes confusing me.
You're just confused, that's all.
Confused.com.
And bewildered.
Well,
I'll tell you something who's not confused and bewildered, and that's Olivier Simmons. Simmons is a consummate sprinter, and particularly dominant in the sprint competition in Category 2. Yet again, putting the power down and being rewarded with that green skin suit.
The riders just making their way through the second of the sprint sections here in Category 2, which just means we've got Category 1 to go. It's not going to be long till they're there. Category 1 leaders are motoring up towards Category 2 at a fair old pace at the moment. They've got that gap down to what is basically 1.5 kilometres between Michael Vink and Leonard Chugles, the breakaway group of 2 riders, 14 seconds clear of the chasers behind in Category 1. The 2 leaders in Category 1 not far behind the leaders in Category 2. They've closed that gap right down, and they're on the way down off the top of the Vessel Rock climb and heading in towards the Face Rock sprint.
Well, they are indeed, and Chugles and Vink just continue. Well, I was going to say, they continue to hold the gap, aren't they? It's not going out anymore, and it's not coming back at the moment. So at the 31.2 kilometre marker, they're coming towards the Face Rock sprint. Whether the chase from behind is indeed going to pick up, but there are 2 more climbs now to come out of that section. And the question for me is, do Chugles and Vink push on during those 2 short climbs and try and extend their lead?
We'll shortly find out. We're shortly going to find out who's going to be taking away top spot in Category 6 in the sprint competition. Now, Fossier was the rider who we've seen dominating regularly, but interesting to see. Oh, here he comes. He's just gone through those like a hot knife through butter. He sliced them to pieces, sliced and diced. They're out the back. Look at the speed of Fossier. I might be eating my words about him not taking the win at the top. He's clearly still got plenty of energy.
Well, I'll tell you
Look at the
something.
speed through there.
He's just gone through there at an average watts per kilo of 14.3, 1,159 watts.
Get in.
I no wonder he's tight. Oh,
that's the biggest load of bluffing. I need to say something else. So the
I'm
biggest
so
load of
tired.
so it's the biggest load of something that I said. Yeah, so we don't believe you anymore.
But I tell you,
that's more like
more.
it. That's what we.
He just hit the wrong emote. But I tell you, 11 riders in that leading group in category 6 now, and the only thing between them and the finish line is the final climb.
And who's going to take away the yellow jersey as the winner of the race overall? Who's going to take away the climbs jersey? He's got the green jersey. He's done it. Job done. He's got one jersey.
Job done. He's off the back.
Oh, never. I don't think you never say never with. He only needs to do another with those sprints to be back on the wheels.
Well, I tell you, Tugels and Michael Vink are moving away from these wheels. These wheels are the chase group in category 1, and the gap is now out to 26 seconds.
Come on, lads,
it was
get your finger out,
11
go back.
seconds last time we were with them, and now on the climbs out of the Vessel Rock, the chase group large behind 12 riders. At last count, but now it is Johan Noren pushing on. Actually, Mikhail Kaminsky, Ricardo Panizza, and Jason Osborne. Syed Safrazadi is in there as well. This is going to be a big battle here because the question is: A, are they going to bring back Tugels and Vink? Possibly not. The gap is now nearly 30 seconds, but there's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th to fight for.
There's lots of places, lots of prizes. Remember, top 10 riders in the race for the finishing line in each of our race categories getting prizes. The winners of the sprint and climbs overall, as well as the winners of each and every sprint and climb segments, taking away prizes in all our categories. A fantastic job done by our riders to take away those prizes, but it's all part of the community that is MyWhoosh. It's not just about racing. It's not just about winning those prizes. There's a massive community of riders chatting away, whether that is to Emma, to myself, to each other, to their teammates, to the team behind the scenes, to the support, to the tech guys, to broadcast. There's a big community there that puts this all together. And I've already done a big mention for MyWhoosh Info. I've got to say, brilliant job done by everybody on MyWhoosh Info. Job done with that one, but I do have to say a massive well done to the designers behind the game and all the work that they have done to put together what has been our latest update, the latest evolution in a game that we've seen develop. First rode back on this a long time ago, so many years ago. I think it's heading almost for 3.5 years ago. The game progression is amazing, and it's resulting with great racing.
Well, 2 kilometres to go in this Category 6 race, and Osmar Vass is the rider riding off the front here. 5 riders still within 2 seconds at the moment, but Vass is riding away from Kiddle. De Manuan, Sensing and Bach are in there as well. Daniel Dotto, the rider, now distance off the group, but Osmar Vass is continuing to drive. He's at 46 kilometres, and this is, let's remember, a 47.8 kilometre race, so 1,800 metres to go, and not far behind, I can tell you, the Category 5 race is coming too.
Well, can Osmar Vass hold them off? He was the first rider we followed out from our start line here today in qualifier race number 3. He's the leading rider. Can he make it to the finish? Will he be the first rider over that finishing line? Vass putting in a phenomenal performance. Ricky Kiddle trying to hold the wheels. De Manuan and Sensing, they're in the mix. Dotto's 3 seconds back. Cameron Dadson is 5 seconds back. Vass here at the moment has set his stall out. He's got 10 seconds on Kiddle. That's a big gap at the moment. What can Vas do? Can he hold them off? Hey, that's the important question. Almost as important as can they hold off Category 5, who are coming at speed behind.
They are indeed, and they really are now working their way through that Category 6 group on the climb. And you can see here Osmar Vas really wanting to get away from the group and put the intention out on the table. So Vas versus Kiddle. Kiddle now 11 seconds back. Further gap back to John Back, who's lying in third at the moment. So 19 seconds separating Vas from third place at the moment. And the question is, can he continue this drive forwards?
We're going to find out. To the best of MyWhoosh info knowledge, which is also my knowledge, because I can't remember him taking a win at any point in the dim and distant history. And he's not showing us taking a win. He's had one top 5 position on
last
the SRC,
week,
which was last week. This could well be his first win on the Sunday Race Club. If he can make it. He's done lots of time trials. He's been on winning time trials regularly. But I think this could well be where we see him take his first victory. At the moment, he's clear of Kiddle, clear of Back, Demanu, Sensing, Dotto and Dadson. They are the riders in Category 6 leading this race up the climb at the moment. Remember, the race finishing at 47.8k today. Our riders will have climbed 566 meters of ascent across the Alphagar Hills, the Vessel Rock climb, all those uncategorized climbs, and our final climb of the day. Our last riders out of the pen, they're Category 1, the leaders in Category 1, well, they're at 36.1k. They're closing down on the Category 2 leaders, so 3, 4, 5 and 6 leaders, but the Category 5 leaders trying to get back to Osmar Vas, as are the rest of Category 6, but at the moment, Osmar Vas is on a mission. Can he make it to the summit? Can he make it through the finish? Can he take this win?
Well, this is one of those riders who has just got better and better and better. And we've been seeing more of him over the last few weeks as he's been getting stronger and being able to execute his racing on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. You know, last week he finished in 4th place when we were on that Dragon's Nest, really short, sharp climb. And he took the climbing competition overall in Category 6 last week as well, alongside that 4th place. So he's obviously really been working on it, but Vas now really pushing on. 24 seconds clear of 3rd place. Ricky Kiddle is literally in the middle. There's a battle going on for 3rd, however, because De Manuan has now overtaken John Back. So Pablo De Manuan has now ridden himself into 3rd place on the road.
So that's your Category 6 riders on the right of your screen, left-hand side of your screen. Category 5 are pushing here. This is not far to go for Category 6, though. And Vas is heading for the line. Category 5 are on the way. There's a big group, but one man is going to take this solo. It's qualifier race number 3 of 4 qualifiers here on the Sunday Race Club on MyWhoosh in March. And Osmar Vas is going to claim his first victory here on the Sunday Race Club. He takes the win. He goes underneath the UCI banner. Your race winner, Osmar Vas.
Well, fabulous to see Vas in yellow. Take a look at that. A skin suit to match his Carlago. Ricky Kiddle doing a brilliant ride here to come through in 2nd place. Brent Sensing coming up over the top of De Manuan and Back. I said it was going to be a battle for 3rd. We've got John Back now coming through. I think this is going to be 4th place for John Back. Pablo De Manuan is going to come through for 5th. Cameron Dadson currently in 6th.
And not far behind, here comes that big charge for the line. Motmans, Rissimaki, Cirillo, Mortek, Sikora, and Tong. 8 riders now left together as Motmans opens up the throttles at 6.1 watts per kilo. The response is coming. Cirillo up at 6.4. Can he match the pace that's going down here from Motmans? He's holding the wheel. He moves on his shoulder. So here we go. Cirillo's moving onto the shoulder of Motmans. He goes on his left-hand side. Right-hand side comes the polka dot jersey of Sikora. But over the top with the white helmet here, I think we are going to see Mortek go into the lead. So Morsek with that white helmet on now leads out. Sikora with the polka dot skin suit wants to answer. The rider coming up on the left, though. This is Cirillo. Can Cirillo match Morsek? Cirillo with the black helmet and the blue jersey chasing Morsek. Mortek's going to take this, or is he? It's going to come down to the throw. Patrick Mortek takes it there. He takes the win. Ahead of Cirillo, ahead of Sikora, Tong and Mottmans. That's your Category 5 top 5.
That was a cracking finale.
It was a great finale. I'll tell you somebody else who's looking to take this out in style. It's Zach Patterson in Category 4. They're not far from that finish. 500 metres to go. The race finishing at 47.8k. Don't forget you can catch all the results on mywhoosh.com/results. At the moment, the man looking to write his name at the top of Category 4. Zach Patterson has the gap, but they're coming behind. Don't look behind you because that is a huge group. JJ Miller, 7.5 watts per kilo. We know he's got a kick. He's coming across. He broke away last week. Has he timed it right this week? Look at the speed he's putting out. He closes down. Patterson goes over the top. The rider from the United States of America has come behind. Iran is coming as well here, but it looks to me surely like this is going to be Miller's. The clock ticks down. 100 meters to go, 50 meters to go, and here comes Aran Arayev. Arayev is on his wheel. Van Haren comes on the left-hand side. Is Miller going to hold them off? Oh, he's going to keep them clear. Just Miller goes through over the top in the race and lead there. That was some finish. That is an incredible ride. JJ Miller taking the top spot from Arayev, from Van Haren, Patterson and Giuliano. That was an incredible race for the finishing line in Category 4. Category 3,
I love a sprint.
Good job, isn't it, with the way they're unfolding to that. Do you know what? I love the fact on Sunday Race Club, all these race categories, they're all checked, they're all verified. Everybody is checked. And we know all these riders are giving it absolutely everything they can. And we get such great results because they're all battling against riders, the dynamic categories that we've got on the Sunday Race Club. Each race category is so competitive. There's always somebody to race against. Whether you're racing at the front of your category, the middle or the back, there's somebody to race against. And there's somebody to battle against week in and week out. I mean, look at, Category 3, huge race field. Category 2, massive race field, albeit a bit more smashed across the countryside. There's still a big pack at the front of Category 2.
Yeah.
Category 1, Vink and Tugels. Tugels is doing, as you'll have heard if you were watching the rewind, doing the motor pacing behind the Vink. It's no longer motor pacing, it's Vink pacing.
Vink pacing.
It is, I tell you. It is. I bet
Well,
it hurts just as much.
Can I just say, if you can stay with the pace of Vink, you deserve a medal.
It's very reminiscent of me hanging on to the wheel of one of our Full Speed Events crew, just a whole lot slower. We didn't go bad last Monday. We did 30-odd K an hour for 100K.
Well, you know. But
well, he did. I just hung on the back wheel.
I love it when the commentary team start to say, "Oh, look how good I am at riding a bike." No.
Oh no!
Vink
oh no! I don't.
Tugels.
Believe me.
Come on.
No, it's the same, but slower.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what's about to get quick, and that's the finish of this Category 3 race.
Ridley's done it again, hasn't he? He's kicked down hard. Lewis Ridley has a phenomenal sprint. He's gone hard. But watch out. Walter Clay's responding here. We know Clays has got a good kick. Kisnowski, the man who did to the start of the show. Now he's starting to come good, but Sladek at the moment is leading this out. And I tell you what, Karol Sladek has got the power. He's out the saddle. He's stamping down. Walter Clays is coming at 12 watts per kilo. Clays with the grey hair here, closing down on Sladek with the red hat. Clays goes over the top. Walter Clays from Belgium is going to take top spot here in Category 3. Goes through. Walter Clays goes through ahead of Sladek, ahead of Fellas, ahead of Goodall and Becker. What a race finish.
It was indeed, and what a class field as well. And of course, you can catch Karol Sladek as one of the live coaches on MyWhoosh.
Indeed, and don't forget, jump on board. And is he one of our superb coaches that I'm very jealous of, who's multilingual?
Yes, he is. He does the sessions in English and Polish.
And Ike Morel does them in
Spanish and English.
So
occasionally I talk French in mine, but only if there's someone from France.
Oh, I bet that's entertaining. I've heard your French.
Hey, it's not as bad as it could be. But I'll tell you something.
You've got a great vocabulary in French. You just can't communicate very well.
Thanks.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. The production team have just told us 4 words in French in our
They'd like
ears
some
here.
pain au chocolat,
I think
basically.
I'm not sure they had enough to eat at iftar at the end of
Anyway,
at the end of the fast. Croissant.
talk about,
What was it? Croissant, pain au chocolat, or something else?
can I just say, I made almond croissant banana bread today.
You're just trying to make me hungry. Right,
Anyway.
should we get back to the racing?
Yes, let's.
Okay, that meant for you to pick that up there.
No,
'cause I'm too busy
normally,
laughing.
can I just say, as the Category 2 riders go through the Siamese Rock Sprint, we don't pay much attention when the production team talk in our ears. Normally, they chat away and say all sorts of things, and we just carry on talking.
I always
But
pay
apparently-
attention.
Apparently, well, we do pay attention. We just don't stop talking. But today, right now, Matt can't stop giggling. That's the first time I've ever seen him do that, and I've heard lots of stuff go on in our ears. Anyway, so Tugles and Vink in the Category 1
I
race.
blame the boss.
They are indeed side by side still. They are well clear of the chasing group, but I'll tell you something. They are not out of the race yet, that chasing group. Category 2 is a different story at the 44.8 kilometre marker. They've got 3 kilometres to go in this race, and James Krasnich pushing on at the front. Simon Walter 2 seconds back. Iker Morel 7 seconds back. He had a good race last week, took second place to Vidal Mare in that Category 2 race. Yet another one of the MyWhoosh live coaches.
I'll tell you something, that coaching works. It also works
It
if you're a coach, because you just do loads and loads of coaching sessions, and then you get fit as well. They're really inspirational. Do jump on board if you find doing training an absolute chore. If you want some company whilst you're suffering, then do jump on board. Make sure you go on, download the app on iOS, on Android, on Windows, wherever you want to jump on board. Get your bike set up. Remember, lots more accessibility with the 4.0 with those speed sensor rides as well. On the free rides, don't forget there's lots of smart rides you can be out and doing to be out there improving your fitness, all in the comfort of wherever your bike is set up. Thank you everybody who so far has sent us pictures this week. Every week we get sent here at Full Speed Events, that's at biking_Emma and at Matt Fix the Pain. We get sent pictures of people's turbo trainer setups, as well as what people are riding and they're doing. And I've got to say, it's absolutely brilliant. Really, really love it. Thank you. Please do keep sending the pictures through. It really does make our week, and it really, really does brighten up our day. Now, Category 1, left-hand side. Category 2, right-hand side.
And Category 2, Simon Walter has gone over the top of James Krasnich on the climb. They're now at 45.7 kilometres, less than 2K to go. And this is a real battle. SS is closing the gap down as well. So is David Nitko. Matthias Van He, Vidal Mare and Zach Nair are all there as well. Concayan, Tatu Koinstenen, they are all within 2 or 3 seconds of each other. Walter is desperately trying to ride clear. He's gone past Luke Hallport, the Category 4 rider, and he's continuing to move. But SS is closing it down, and he's bringing everybody with him.
Simon Walter could do an Osman Vaz if he could keep this going to the finish. If he could stay clear, he would be taking a debut win. But the problem he's got, SS is just closing down. We know what a phenomenal rider SS is. He's uber competitive. This is a man who will take you on at tiddlywinks and take away the win. He's a fearsome competitor. And at the moment, I'll tell you something, he is already keeping the pressure on in Category 2. Walter's responded. David Nitko, again, another rider, really, really looking, hovering, waiting in the wings, waiting to make a move. Meanwhile, Category 1, Michael Vink's got the pressure on. He's at 8.5 watts per kilo here. Vink is opening up again. He's continuing to push. And can Tugles respond? Tugles sat down 6 watts per kilo. I think Tugles has just gone. So the elastic, it could well snap here. Another kick comes from Vink, 7.5 watts per kilo. Tugles needs to recover. There will be respite coming. He needs now not to panic. Can he close Vink? The rest of the group behind will be seeing this. They'll think about whether they can get the gap back down. Vink has broken the last rider. He was shadowed by Tugles. Now that shadow is in the grey zone, that horrible place where you've been distanced and you want to get back. Has he got enough in the tank? We'll find out.
Well, Vink, He is a consummate master at a long, steady climb, and he can just hold a pace. Well, Tugels couldn't hold it today, so Leonard Tugels now in second. Actually, do you know what? He's picking up the pace again. He's picking up the power. He needed a bit of a gap. He needed a bit of a breather. He needed to bring his heart rate down. He's now pushing on again. So Tugels picks up the mantle again in the chase against Michael Vink. In category 2, they're coming into the last kilometre of the race, and SS is leading Vidal Mare David Nitko by 1 second.
1 solitary second. A heartbeat difference between our race leader SS, the chasers behind Mare, Coyston and Nitko. They've been hovering around the front of that group for so long. Ospina's got a phenomenal kick. Do not discount him. But look at the pack coming into sight at the bottom of your screen here. These riders are pushing on. Bert Ken in here. And that is another rider that we know can sprint. He's shown that year after year here. Van He. Can he take a win here today? Did say at the start of the show, he comes good on tough courses. This has been a tough course. It's been raced hard as well as SS puts another dig off the front here. He went at 7 watts per kilo. He's dropped to 6.5. Can he hold them off? He's got a second gap. You can see the difference between our leader. That's going to be about 8 chasers behind at the moment. Mare is coming strong. So is Coyston. They're moving up towards that 10 watts per kilo marker. Vidal Mare, he's had a taste of victory. He wants it again. He goes over the top here like an express train. Has he gone too early? We've still got distance with 250 meters surely to go at the moment. At least here we're going to see they're coming in. It's 400 meters now, so 300 meters. The banner starts coming into sight here. He's got to keep pushing here. There's got the gap. Has Nitko got the power to answer him? The packer coming at speed. Simon Walter wants this. He's at 9 watts per kilo. But Vidal Mare, well, he's unlocked the confidence bottle. He knows the taste of the win. He's going to do it again. Vidal Mare takes the win. SS in second. Nitko in third. A sprint for 4th place. I think it was Khan Kane, followed by, was it Zach Nair?
Yeah, Khan Kane. Zach Nair rounding out the top 5.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a brilliant race in category 2.
It was absolutely brilliant. You know, last week, 3 seconds separated the top 12 in category 2. This week, the top 12, 10 seconds.
Amazing racing in all of our categories. And we've got our last race winner to bring home. Well, we've seen debut winner take away the first win of the day. That was in category 6 as Osmar Vaz took the first top step on the podium in the Sunday Race Club in his racing. This first top step for Michael Vink might have been a long time ago, but he's going to relish it. He's almost at the line behind him. You can see Tugels still sat in between, but this is the big kick behind. Stefan Van Elst now winding this up. Vink well and truly motoring at the front of the race. So we're going to have to see who's going to pick up the points and those places behind. Vink and Tugels at the moment, though, on the way in through. Michael Vink is going to take the top spot. He takes away victory. Leonard Tugels is going to take second. The world champion has gone awful like somebody's lit a fire underneath his shoes at the moment. He's hot-footing his way in as the world champion comes towards line. Vink takes first place. Tugels equals his best performance and takes second. It's going to be a third place for Osborne, fourth for Safrazadi, and I think that's going to be Marshall Wu who takes away a top 5 here today.
It does indeed. So Marshall Wu, welcome to the Sunday Race Club party. It did not take him long to get onto that top 5 rostrum. So Michael Vink takes the win, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 27 seconds. Leonard Tugels just could not stay with him on that final climb, 12 seconds back. And then Jason Osborne led the sprint for third place. Syed Safrazadi comes in 4th. Marshall Wu in 5th. Stefan Van Elst in 6th. Lionel Yassin in 7th. Michael Knudsen in 8th. Ricardo Panizza in 9th. And Mikhail Kamensky in 10th place today. Johan Noren, the last rider in that pack, coming in 11th today.
So that was qualifier race number 3. Guess what? We're going to do it all again next week on qualifier race number 4 before we move on to our monthly finals. 2 qualifying rides to take each and every one of our riders in and through to those finals. So do make sure you jump on board with us next week for that. See whether Vidomer can hold off SS in Category 2. Will Faz be able to repeat his debut win? Will we see Michael Vink take the win again?
So many questions.
So many questions. I'm going to set you some homework if you're watching at home. You've got a couple of things you need to do before next week. One, make sure, if you haven't done so already, you have a listen or a watch to Inside the Ride, because the podcast has Matt Smithson on with all of the updates and lots of the reasoning behind why we have the 4.0 update and what amazing things it's bringing to you. I've got to say, whilst you're doing your homework, the other part of your homework is to do give all of the commentary team a follow from the team who cover the Arabic to biking_Emma for Emma and myself at Matt Fixer Paint. And at the same time, give MyWhoosh a follow. It's at MyWhoosh on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. But remember your homework. Have a listen to or watch Inside the Ride, get updated on 4.0 and get on board and ride it, because it's amazing. Some amazing features on there, amazing racing from our racers. Thank you very much to them. A big thank you to the team behind the scenes for making me even hungrier during the show than I already was. And a massive thank you to you for watching. Thank you to Emma, of course, for putting up with me at the start of the women's and coming and joining me again at the finish. But from Emma and myself, Matt Payne, stay safe, get that homework done. We'll see you again next week.
Goodbye.